In this video, I'm going to get you started on the base of your acorn. So by now you hopefully have got all your supplies. We're going to start off with the top, which is the bottom of the acorn, which is shown here. Now, for those of you who have never done this before, it can be quite tricky. So I'll do it quite slow, and so you can sort of watch and then maybe rewind and try and do it again whilst I'm doing it. So what you need is your tail pointing towards your body like this. You get your two fingers and you wrap it and cross it around. So I'll do that again. Your tail down, your two fingers, index and your second finger, wrap it and cross it around. Then you take your crochet hook, you take your crochet hook underneath, so you're going under and up, twist your hook and grab your yarn and pull it through. I'll do that one more time for you. So you take your long, short working tail down, your index finger and second finger, you wrap your yarn around, cross that over there and hold it together with your thumb, insert your hook underneath, grab the yarn, twist your hook and pull it through and up. Then, like I say, it's tricky. With this finger, hold the stitch on the crochet hook, and then you're going to take your yarn and you're just going to do a slip stitch to secure it like so. Okay ladies, I'll show you one more time. So you have your small working tail towards your body, index and second finger, twist your yarn around and cross it over. Get your crochet hook, slip it underneath the circle, twist and pull up, and then pull it. You have to make sure it's quite tight or not too tight. Then you get your this middle finger, hold that down with your middle finger while you remove your hand. You get your yarn over the hook and just slip it through to make a slip stitch like so. And now you will have what they call the magic ring. Don't be disheartened, because it does take a couple of tries to get the hang of it. And if you're not a crocheter that does a lot, it will take you a while to get going. So I will show you that just one more time. So you get your yarn, your short working piece to your body, wrap it round your index and second finger and cross over. Take your hook, slip it underneath the circle you've just made, twist it, pull up the yarn, take your middle finger, hold on to it while you let go of your circle, and then yarn over and just pull it through to secure a slip stitch. And there is your magic circle. Okay ladies, so you should now all have your magic ring. So next we need to go on to the pattern. So it did say with your light yarn to make a magic ring and do 6 single crochets, and I'll show you how to do that now. So with your single crochets, we're going to work in the middle of this ring. So you put your hook through the ring, grab your yarn and pull it through, and then you put your yarn over and pull through both loops. That is 1 single crochet. We'll do that again. So it's yarn under the hoop into the loop, pull up the yarn.
Sorry, stop.
Okay ladies, so now we've got our magic ring. I just need to mention that you have got this small tail here. Now this is quite important because this will help you close your magic ring. So what we're going to do next is follow the pattern, and it says 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So we're going to, I'll show you how to do them. You go into the ring, pull up the thread through the back of the ring, yarn over and through 2. Now you need to do that over all the ring and your tail, if that makes sense. You'll see what I mean in a little while. So we've got to do that 6 times. So that was 1, and I'll show you what to do again. So it's down under the ring, grab your yarn, pull it through, up through the ring, yarn over and pull through 2. That's 2. And we do that 6 times. Down through your magic ring, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 3. And we do that 6 times. So it's down through your ring, pull your yarn up, yarn over, through 2. That's 4. Got 2 more through the ring, pull through your yarn over, pull through 2. And one last time, down through the ring, pull the yarn up through the magic ring, yarn over and pull through, and there we have 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, you have to, obviously, we can't leave the magic ring that size, and this is where your tail comes in. So if you hold onto your crochet hook and you work and get hold of your tail and pull it very gently, it will close up your magic ring and form a small circle like such. Okay ladies, so now we've done our magic ring with 6 single crochets in the middle. So now we have to revert back to your pattern, and round 2 it says single crochet all the way around. So we're going to do 6 single crochets, and like I said to you at the beginning, we are going to work this in a spiral like this now. So this is where your stitch marker will come in. So you are going to do a single crochet in each stitch all the way round. So this bump here, it's like a V here. You go under that 1 and under that 2. So you've got your 1 and 2 stitches on there. You put your yarn over and pull through like that. And you've got those 2 on there, yarn over, pull through. So you've done your first stitch there, and this is where you have to use your stitch marker. This will, I mean, there's no point in clipping it together now because we've only got 6 stitches, but as your work gets bigger, I do advise you do that because they do tend to fall out if you don't. So we're going to do that another 5 times. So it's under both I don't know what to call them, under the stitch, under both loops of the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's your second single crochet. Through both the stitches, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 3. Again, under both the stitches, pull through, you have 2 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and we have another 3 to do. So same, yarn, hook under the stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, under the stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then the last one underneath the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Right ladies, so we've done rounds 1 and 2, we're now on to 3, which is 6 single crochet increase. So what we're going to do, we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch, and this is how we increase. So we're going to take the stitch marker out for the minute, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in this stitch here. So what you need to do, the same as last time, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over the hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, we're going to do that in the same stitch. So it's hook through the stitch, yarn over the hook, pull through, you have 2 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is your first increase. So in one stitch you've made 2. So you need to take your stitch marker and put it back into the very first stitch that you've done. So you can see there we've got 1, 2. We'll do that again. So we're going to go into the next stitch, hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull through, you've got 2 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and again we're going to do it into the same stitch, hook through that stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, 2 stitches on the hook, yarn over and through 2, and again you've done 2 stitches in your 1 stitch, and we're going to do that all the way around. Okay ladies, so now you should have done your increasing all the way around. So we should now have 12 stitches, and you can see why we need a marker, because if not you would just keep going round and round and you would lose your place. Also, this is a good time to tell you that there is an inside or a right side and a wrong side to your work. The side that is facing up towards you is the right side, and then obviously this side where your tail is coming from is your wrong side. But the more you work your acorn, the more clear that will become to you. So we've got 12 stitches now, and so the next 3 or 4 rounds are just increase rounds. So we're on round 4, and the instructions for this, if you've got your pattern in front of you, are a single crochet and then a single crochet increase. So again, you're going to take out your stitch marker, and your next stitch is just a single crochet. So it's into the next stitch here, it's through the stitch, as same as before, yarn over the hook, pull through, 2 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is your first stitch. Now you need to pop your stitch marker back into that single stitch. So that's your first one. And then your next stitch is an increase. So again, yarn through the stitch, yarn over the hook, pull through, 2 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And this is an increase stitch, so you're going to go back into the same stitch, yarn through that hook, through the stitch, sorry, yarn over the hook, pull through, 2 on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2. So you can see there that over 2 stitches we've got an increase. So we've got a single and then 2 singles in 1, so that's your increase stitch. So we have to do that now all the way around. So your next stitch will be a single crochet, and then the one after that will be an increase single crochet, which you're going to do 2 stitches into the same stitch. I'll do that all the way around and then I'll come back to you. Okay ladies, so now we've just completed round 4, so you should have 18 stitches with your stitch marker here marking the beginning of the round. And this is the way that you're going to increase all the way around until you have the number of stitches that's required. So next it's round 5, which the instructions there is 2 single crochets and then it says increase. So you're going to do 2 single crochets, and then in the 3rd stitch you will do 2 stitches. I'll show you how to do that again. So you remove your stitch marker from your first stitch and you're going to do 2 single crochets, which is, you've all got the hang of it hopefully now. Oops. So you've got your 2 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's your first one. So you must always remember to pop your stitch marker back in there, because it's very important that you know the beginning of the round. So that's 1 and then 2. And then in your 3rd stitch, you're going to do an increase. So in the next stitch, you're going to, through the stitch, pull through 2 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, in the same stitch, hook through, yarn over, pull through, 2 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. So that is 4 stitches over 3 stitches, if that makes sense. So you've increased one. So you've done, your first stitches are 1 and 2, and then in your third stitch you've increased, so you've got 3 and 4. Now you're going to do that all the way around until you have 24 stitches. Now this is how the pattern is worked. So I'm going to leave you now. You need to get to round 8, and then I'll come back and I'll explain to you what we do then. I shall be back when I've got 42 stitches and I'm on to round 8. Okay ladies and gents, if you're joining in, we are now on to round 8. I've just completed round 8, so we should have 42 stitches all the way around, and again you've stopped at where your marker is. Now again, if you've got the pattern in front of you, it says rounds 9 to 18 is a single crochet all the way around. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to do 10 rounds of single crochet. So you've got 42 stitches, so you're going to go round 10 times, and you're going to stitch into each 42 stitch. Now do try and have a little check of your stitches every now and then. Just every now and then when you've gone round every other few rows, just count as you go, and just to make sure that you're keeping the same amount of stitches. This is what your piece of work, if you want to call it that, will look like at the moment. It does go into quite a pretty hexagon shape, if you like. This is normal. This is how it should look, with a little tiny point on the top, and these lines here, as you can see, you get sort of little lines every now and then. Those are your increased lines. It's perfectly normal that it will start to take shape the more you do. So I'm going to leave you now whilst you get on with rounds 9 to 18. So we've got 10 rounds to do, and then I'll come back and it's starting to decrease. And we also fit the safety eyes at some point. One of my viewers has actually said to me that she's not going to put safety eyes in. She's just going to make quite a few of these acorns and throw them all in a bowl for decoration, which is another nice idea. So for now, I'll leave you to do that, and I shall be back shortly. Okay, so by this time you should have got to round 18 and have 42 stitches. As you can see, we've increased and we've done the 10 rows of just straight single crochets spiraling round, and this is the body of the acorn. So we're now on to row 19, but before we go any further with that, if you are going to insert safety eyes into your acorn, this is the time that you do them. And if you look on your pattern, on the right hand side of your pattern, it does tell you on the top if you are using safety eyes to attach them between rounds 11 and 12 and use 7 spaces apart, which I will show you how to do now. So just pull up your hook that keeps this stitch live, and that way you won't have to go back and do it all again. Now the thing is, when you're working in the round, there's no front and back and side, so you can put your safety eyes wherever you want, because once you're finished, obviously you can turn it round, and where your eyes are going to be, that will be the front of your acorn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly turn it round, and what you need to do is you need to count your rows. So we need to turn your work upside down, and as we all know, this is row 1, so we're going to count rows. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now this is round 11. If you don't get them perfect, it doesn't matter, because let's face it, at the end of the day, this is an acorn that's going to be a decoration, so it doesn't matter. So take one of your safety eyes, and you just have to position your safety eye and push it through your stitch. Now, like I said to you in the beginning, these are not always the easiest things to do. So you pushed it through there, and then what you're going to do, obviously on the same row that you've just put this eye in, you're going to count over 7 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's going to go your other safety eye is going to be pushed through that stitch there. Can you see that? So there are your safety eyes. I'll turn it inside out. So now you've got your safety eyes in position. Make sure they're where you want them and they're not wobbly. And then you get the backs, and this is what can be difficult. So you get the back of your safety eye. I always have to get Tim to do this for me. Oh, and push. Those wasn't so bad. So you put your, I don't know what they call these at the back. Clips? I'm not sure. Anyway, so push that down. So you've got your safety eyes in place. Turn your work the right way round again, and there you go. There's your safety eyes. Right, so now we're on to, like I say, round 19, which is a decrease round. There you go. So you're going to remove your stitch marker, and it says round 19, 5 single crochets and 1 decrease. So we're going to do 5 single crochets. I'll do that with you. 1, 2, 3. Not forgetting to put your stitch marker back in. 1, 2, 3. And 2 more. 4 and 5. Now this is where you're going to decrease. So for your decrease, I'll show you what to do. There is a couple of ways of doing it, but this is the way I like to do it using amigurumi when I do my amigurumi toys, because this is called an invisible decrease. So what you're going to do over your next 2 stitches, you're going to decrease them both together. And what you do there is the 2 V's here, you're not going to go through the back one, you're just going to use the front ones. So you're going to go up through the front V. It can be quite tricky, and you're going to go up through the second V, like so. So you've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, and you're going to come through the first 2. So you've got 2 stitches on the hook, yarn over, and come through the next one. And all it does is it makes it look very much like the rest of the stitches. If you just crochet 2 stitches together, which I'll do for you, so you go through 1, pull it up, you yarn, go through another, pull your yarn up, so you've got 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. It is quite a bulky stitch, as you can see, whereas this decrease is quite a nice, it sort of runs into the stitch, if you know what I mean. So that is how you do your decrease. I'll do it one more time with you. So we're going round 5 times, 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then you're on to your next decrease. So it's the front loop only. Slip it up through the front hoop. Now if you are struggling getting through the second hoop, this crochet hook is manoeuvrable. So you could push it through. And I mean, I can get mine through quite simple. But if you can always manoeuvre the hook to get it through. So you've got those. 1 and 2. Yarn over. Pull through the 2. Yarn over, pull through 2, and there's your next decrease. So again, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll show you one more time. Through the first loop and the second loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that is your smooth invisible decrease. Now you're going to do this all the way around until you have 36 stitches. I'll come back to you when I've finished this round. Okay, so I'm back at the end or the beginning where the stitch marker is, and I've done my 5 single crochets and the decrease. So now we're down to 36 stitches. So for the next 1, 2, 3 rounds, that's exactly what we're going to do in the fashion that we're going to decrease. So row 20 is 4 single crochets, then an invisible decrease, all the way around until you have 30 stitches. Round 21, 3 single crochets, invisible decrease 6 times until you have 24, and so forth and so on until you get to 18 stitches. I will do that and then get back to you and we'll carry on from there. Okay, now I've got to round 21 and I'm just going to go through round 22 with you again just to make sure that everybody's got the hang of this. So take your stitch marker out, and this is the last round of the decrease. So it's going to be 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Again, not forgetting to put stitch marker into place. And then we're going to do a decrease. So it's into the front ridge and into the second front ridge, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Then 2 again, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then a decrease, up through the front bar, up through the second bar, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. 2 single crochets, 1, 2, then a decrease, through the front bar, through the second front bar, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and that is going to go all the way around, and then that will be 1, 2, our last round of decrease. I'll keep the camera on and show you as I'm going round, and then I think at the end of this round, if I'm not mistaken, we're ready to stuff the body of our acorn. Couple more stitches around there. I hope you've all understood this and, you know, been able to manage it. Like I say, I've never done anything like this before, so do be kind, because I don't know if I've done it right or wrong. Last 2 decreases, up through that bar, up through the second bar, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over and pull through 2. Pull it up to keep your stitch safe, and then you've got this rather, you've got to admit everybody, most peculiar looking item. Anyway, so we've just completed round 22 and now it says stuff firmly. You may need to stuff more before finishing the last round. Now that is, I always do that. I've taken my stuffing away, so I'll be back in 1 second and we'll stuff it, and then there's rounds 23 and 24 and then the body of the acorn is finished. Okay, so now we're ready to stuff our little acorn. So this is how I stuff mine. I usually get a clump of stuffing, you know, a bit of a handful like that, but just pull it apart and then basically stuff. You will get used to this. There is definitely a knack to stuffing toys. Yeah, there's not really very much I can tell you about stuffing toys other than, you know, you will get used to it. Stuff it as much as you possibly can, because obviously it gives it a lot more, you can manipulate it more, I mean, and put it more into a shape. But yeah, well, you know how to stuff toys. I'm sure it's not rocket science, that, is it, ladies? So I'll just finish stuffing this and then I'll come back and I will show you how to close up the end of the acorn. Okay, so I've stuffed the body of my acorn. I haven't overstuffed it, to be fair, because I have just had a quick read through the pattern and the cap of the acorn fits on the top here. and you also put a little bit of stuff in it in the cap of the acorn. So I haven't overstuffed it. I mean, it's a nice round shape. It's got its little point at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but you can manipulate it to have its little point there. So now we've got to close up the top, and I'm going to do that with you so you can, well, just basically so I can work with you and see how we go. So now on the pattern it says you need to stuff, which we've done. So we're now on to round 23. And round 23 is single crochet and then a decrease. So that's over 3 stitches. So you're going to do a single crochet and then decrease 2 stitches together to make it 1. And we're going to do that all the way around 6 times. So remove your stitch marker and we're going to do a single crochet, and it does get a little bit trickier here because obviously the smaller the circumference that you've got to work in, the harder it does become. So you've done your 1 single crochet, don't forget to pop your stitch marker back in there, and then you're going to do your decrease, your 2 front, yarn over, and through there, and then you're going to go all the way around and do that 6 times. So 1 single crochet, and you can see even I'm struggling now. It's not a struggle, it's just a little bit more awkward than it was when you'd got more stitches on. So you do your decrease, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you see now how, let me just show you that, how that is very baggy. And this is because obviously it's difficult for me to do it on camera because I'm showing you what to do, so I'm finding it harder because I don't normally sit at the table and crochet in this position. But that is baggy like that, and that's really no good. And I just want to show you how easy it is to just pull it back and start again. So I'm going to put my crochet hook back in there and get a little bit of tension on the crochet hook so it's not really tight, and then I'll be able to do my decrease and it won't be quite as baggy. Can you see now it's not quite as baggy? And I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really matter what the top of your acorn is going to look like because we're going to fit the cap over the acorn. So, don't be too worried about, if it's not exactly how you would like it. You've got to be kind to yourself. Don't know if this is the first time any of you are crocheting, but, it's not an easy thing to do. Especially if you're a knitter and you feel like you're all fingers and thumbs. If you ever speak to my husband, he will tell you about how stressful it was me learning to crochet. Believe you me, it took many years. See, even I'm finding it difficult. In fact, I think I've done that wrong again. So I'll pull that back. You see how easy it is to pull back and redo. And there's a lot more scope for mistakes in crochet, as in you can pull it back and start again quite easily. And yeah, look at that, I've done that again now, so that's that. So all the way around. I'll stop talking, shall I, and you can just watch me. Maybe that'd be easier for you. Can't you tell I'm used to podcasting? I'm used to talking and not doing. So a few more. Single crochet. I can't get that in there. And a decrease. Single crochet and then 1 last decrease. And then 1 last decrease there. Sorry about that, that's Tim and I's phone pinging away in the background. Oops, don't think that's right. Just bear with me, ladies and gents, if there's any of you out there that's crocheting with me. Right, there you go. Even I struggle at times. So we're back to the beginning and we've got 1 more round. So it does tell you to pop a bit more stuffing in, and I will do. I usually use the end of my crochet hook to stuff it all in there nicely, like so. Get it all in. Right, so now we're on to our last round, which is round 24, which is 6 decreases. So it's just going round 6 times with a decrease. And then that will be done, or your round part of your acorn finished. Okay, so we're on our last round now, which is round 24. So remove your stitch marker and you're just going to do 6 decreases all the way round. Now this will be quite difficult. I won't, I'll pre-warn you now that it's not the easiest to do this. I usually get my finger in the opening. See what I mean? It's not easy for me to do this. And you can push your crochet hook in and twist it round. So that's 1. I'm not going to put my stitch marker back in. I'll just count as I'm going round. 2. Sorry, but it is difficult. Is that a stitch? I hope you're all still with me and you can see what I'm doing. I think I've done that a bit tight. Better. 3. Oh, it is tight, that. Through that one. Through that one. 4. Sorry, ladies. Don't think you can see that. In fact, I'm going to carry on off camera doing that because it's that difficult for me to do at the table. So I've done 4, I've just got another 2 to do. I'll finish them off because I need to be able to do it not sat at the table, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, ladies, sorry about that. I was really finding it difficult to do those last 2 stitches at the table. Anyway, so I've done my 6 decreases now, so now you have to close up. So you're going to pull your crochet hook up, and so you've got a loop as such. Snip your yarn and literally just get hold of the loop and pull the yarn up through, and that will secure it. And then you need your darning needle. I have to have one of these big-eyed darning needles like this. I don't know if you can see them. I can't remember where I got this from. I actually think it came in a pack of 3. And I got it from the local yarn shop, I think. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to thread your tail through any single hole that's in your crochet out the other side and just fasten it off by pulling. Now normally because this is going to be covered up, I'm not going to be too perturbed about it having this little tiny bump here. You can pull it tighter and you could get rid of it, and you can also weave it in and make it look a lot better. But because we're putting the cap on, I'm quite happy with that. So just snip off the excess yarn, and there you have I don't even know what the bottom of the acorn's called, but there you have the bottom of your acorn. I hope that wasn't too difficult for you to follow. The next part is the acorn stem and cap, but I'll leave you now I'll probably come back tomorrow with the next video, and we'll carry on from there. I hope it's all understandable for you and you know how to do it. If not, just leave me a quick message in the description box below and I'll try get back to you. Thank you for watching.